It's day 6 of the reading rush, and I haven't filmed anything today, and I am going to be combining day 6 and 7 of the reading rush so that, like, I can have at least one more decent vlog, because the last 2 vlogs I've posted have been, like, 20 to 30 seconds, because I had some down days that went really, really bad, and, you win some, you lose some. But I will tell you what I'm reading. I'm reading the Disturbed Girls Dictionary. I've read a few pages since, you know, finishing All Out, which I did finish, never really reviewed it. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars because when I, like, added up all the ratings I gave the stories, it ended up being a 2.7, so I rounded it down because it didn't earn a 3. But yeah, I just didn't enjoy these stories. There's 2 that I actually ended up giving 4 stars. No, actually. There's one that I gave 4.5 stars, which is the one by Tess Sharp, the girl with the blue lantern. Loved it a lot. And then The Inferno and the Butterfly by Sean David Hutchinson, I gave 3.5. So those were, like, the better stories in my opinion. But in general, mostly 2s and 3s, an occasional 1 star. I did not like them. I think that the romance in these stories was very unconvincing because of the format of being short stories. I saw no chemistry. I didn't understand why they were making out. I didn't understand why they were having sex, which, side note, in a lot of these stories, they just, like, casually started fucking, which is okay. That's fine. Just, I was not really convinced about why they were doing so. So, I don't know. There wasn't much character development, there wasn't much relationship development, and in general, I just, like, didn't care too much about the stories. Do I want to read the companion collection called Out Now, which is, like, more modern LGBTQ stories? Yes. But I don't know if I'll love it, but, like, I want to read it anyway. The covers are really pretty, so that also contributes. But yeah, so I've read 3 things for the reading rush. This will be my 4th, and, like, didn't get to any of these guys, which tomorrow I actually plan on trying to read more of this, but we'll get to that tomorrow. But yeah, I'm over halfway through this now. I got the audiobook because I wanted to try and power through this more, because this is a 1-star book. I don't like it at all, and I would DNF it, but, like, I've put this much effort into it, and, like, I love checking off books that I already own as being read. It's really satisfying to me. So I want to finish it. It's just, like, it's really hard to read because I hate it. But I got the audiobook, and I like the audiobook better. Okay, this book follows a girl named Macy, and she is disturbed, and she will not let you forget the fact that she's disturbed. What does disturbed mean, you might say? Because that's not, like, a state of being. I don't know, but she's disturbed. And this is her dictionary. So what she does is, like, she writes out, like, a word, she defines it, and then, like, the passage underneath is, like, a journal entry that's related to the word, basically. And that might sound, like, fun and unique, right? And it is, but it's, like, also doesn't make sense. Like, the concept is flawed in a few ways, and it's really frustrating to read. Also, the grammar in this book, atrocious. The spelling of some things, atrocious. Macy, horrible. Yes, you have a shitty life, and yes, you've gone through trauma, but that does not excuse you being a fucking horrible person. Sorry, just my opinion. Yeah, I don't know about this book. I don't like it at all, but I want to finish it, so I got the audiobook. And the reason I like the audiobook is because I like the narrator. One, I've read some things that have been narrated by her before, but 2, she doesn't read it how I've imagined this character to be reading it, so that's very enjoyable for me. I like her voice, and it's making this more bearable. Also, I'm listening to it on, like, 2 times speed, so I'm getting through it quicker, so I don't have to, like, listen to this story for that much longer. But yeah, I'm enjoying the audiobook because I like the narrator, and she's helping me get through this, so thank you to her. I think her name's Maria. Thank you. So yeah, I do plan to finish this tomorrow morning, I guess, because I went to bed at, like, 5 a.m. yesterday, or 5 a.m. today, and then woke up at, like, 4. So I'm not going to be sleeping tonight. So I'm going to finish this. Maybe read some of Throne of Glass, because I've gone through, once I finish this, I've gotten through half of my TBR, because the other half of my TBR was this. So I knew I wasn't going to get through it, but if I could read, like, up to halfway in Throne of Glass, that'd be really great for me. So yeah. That's the plan for today and tomorrow. I guess the remnants of today and all of tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to go take a bath and listen to the audiobook. That's a deep V. And I'm gonna catch you tomorrow and try to make this vlog at least over 10 minutes. So let's go, folks. Okay, hi. So it's me. It's day 7. And I'm very, very, very tired. I didn't sleep last night because, you know, I was just kind of, like, doing my thing, fucking around. And I look at the time, I'm like, oh, it's 5 a.m., right? So if I go to bed now, we're gonna stay in this horrible cycle, right? So I'm like, no, Bailey, you have to push through. You have to not sleep today until like 9 or 10. And that's going to be very hard because it's like, what, 10 a.m. now? Yeah, 10:51, so about 11 a.m. And I was just laying down listening to a podcast and like was barely awake. I put on makeup today to try and like wake myself up because like I'm less likely to sleep with makeup on. But it's not really working because I already just want to fucking pass out. But whatever. I will say, around 1 a.m. I finished this book. Finally. And I gave it 1 out of 5 stars. I didn't like it. And I didn't expect to like it. I knew I didn't like it within the first like 20 pages. So, not surprised, but you know, another book on the reading challenge, so go me. I actually only have to read one more book and then I've completed my reading challenge, which is exciting. I do have to read a book though, which is less exciting because like all I want to do is sleep, but I also feel sick, so my hypochondria is acting up and my anxiety had kept me up last night. I was legitimately crying and like, you know, it was really good. It was really good. I was reviewing this, right? Yes, that's what I was trying to do. Blame it on the lack of sleep. I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule because it died a long time ago, but I'm trying to resuscitate it. Like, a little late, but we're trying. So this book, did I tell you what it's about? All you have to know is that I hate it. Trigger warning. I listed them out in my Goodreads review, and honestly, before I go into the specific ones, any trigger warning you can think of, any trigger warning under the sun can be applied to this book, because it does everything. And that's not good. You know, like, I am a person who does not believe that YA should be censored. As a young adult, I hate when people treat children, not children. When I say children, I mean teens, but like, I'll say teens. Teens and young adults as though they cannot handle anything. There's a sex scene that's too much for the children. It's too much for the children. And maybe ask a teen before you say that we can't handle it. Just my opinion, though. So as an advocate for YA being fucked up and showing crazy things, this book was too much. I would call this torture porn at times. The violence was gratuitous, and it was just a lot. So let me pull up those trigger warnings, actually. I want to give you them specifics that I listed out in my review, which I didn't really write a full review, just list out the trigger warnings, really, because I don't write reviews until like a little while after I've read things because I'm a little lazy, but don't tell anybody that. Here we go. Did I tell you I gave it 1 star? I gave it 1 star. Okay. 1, I'll just read kind of what I said. I'll paraphrase. I labeled this book problematic. I don't like to throw out the word problematic very often because it's like, I don't know. I don't like how it's used a lot of times. But this book has a lot of problematic elements, does a lot of problematic things. So that's great. Here's the trigger warnings. And like every trigger warning I like list, just assume it's in gratuitous amounts because that's just how this book went. Sexual assaults, sex trafficking of children, use of slurs. Now, a note on that, the author is black and the N-word is used. That's not what I'm talking about. The F slur and the R slur, F not fuck, okay? They're used. I'm not a fan of that, but just an opinion, I suppose. The mental health rep is questionable. I would say bad, but I'll say questionable. The disability rep is extremely questionable, as in people are called disturbed and the R slur constantly, but they are not diagnosed with any disabilities, and they are constantly put down because of their disabilities, so it's not great. There's abuse of all sorts of ways. Parental, family, it's just bad. Parental neglect, animal abuse, murder, and violence. The animal cruelty was gratuitous, so gratuitous. I was so shocked. I didn't see that coming, but yeah. So this book is told in like kind of vignettes, I suppose. It like is just like these small peeks into this person's life, and that's fine. But like there really was no overarching plot, to be honest. Things just started happening. Nothing really gets wrapped up at the end of this book. I don't know. I was not satisfied. It really gets fucked up by the end, by the way. Like, the beginning kind of, like, the inside flap tells me Macy has gotten into a fight with her friend Alma, her best friend Alma, and she wants to get I don't know, she wants to clear the waters, whatever. She does that within like the first 50 pages, and then by the end of the book, someone's been like sold into human trafficking basically, or has become a child prostitute. It's really, really strange. And it sucks. Like, there's a lot of conversations brought up. I just don't think any of them were handled well. So I did annotate this very lightly. Orange is everything I hated, green is grammar. By the way, the writing is supposed to be told from this person's perspective, Macy, so I get why the writing is bad, but also horrible to read. Like, the spelling, grammar, just ain't it. So basically, there's a point where Macy, who is black, she gets not pulled over because she was walking, but like the cops come up to her, and there's like it's a commentary on BLM, Black Lives Matter, because like everyone pulls out their phone, they're recording just in case something happens. That was good. I did enjoy the conversation around that. There's that, but then there's also just like horrible everything else, you know what I mean? So I'm glad I read this in the sense that like more books on the reading challenge, but like honestly could have lived my life without this. This was also recommended to me after I read Sadie by Courtney Summers, which I loved, and I wanted more books like it, and this was recommended to me, and I was really excited for this. Like, I thought I was gonna give it 5 stars. And I'm not blaming the person who recommended me. That's not the problem. It's just like wasn't like Sadie, and I was really surprised because I really thought it was gonna be a 5-star read, and then like wasn't 1 star. So I don't know. That's just how the cookie crumbles. I did decide that I would do the Reading Rush book tag thing to have more content in this vlog. So let me pull that up. Alright, so this is a book tag called the Racing to Read book tag. There's a few questions and I'm gonna answer them. Yeah. So warm up. A book that stretches your mind. I don't want to be basic and pick a classic, but I'm going to be basic and pick a classic. I'm going to go with The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. It's over there, and I really don't want to climb over the literal fucking dumpster fire in front of my eyes, because my room is a giant fucking disaster, and it's probably due to my mental health problems, but like we're not going to address that because I'm too poor for therapy, so not going to deal with that. Hey Caroline, you were great for the 2 times I went to see you, but like I have ghosted you over email because I can't pay you, so like it was nice while it lasted. But yeah, Great Gatsby's over there, and I actually really enjoyed this. Like, yes, it's just about a bunch of white people doing rich white people things, but I liked it. Sorry. I just feel like this book, it hit me somewhere. Like, the end broke my heart. It's really fucking depressing to me. I think there's some good conversations in that book. Also, like, some of the rich people drama is kind of interesting to read, so like, I liked it. I don't know if any of that was really intellectual, but it's fine. Start line. What's a book that you started but never finished? Ooh, girl, there's so many for this. Less so now. Grade 8, grade 9, started books, never finished them. I'll do this one because I don't know, it's a kind of fun but like also deeply upsetting story for this one. We got Siege and Storm. I actually read the first book for the Biblio games last year. Yeah, okay. And the first book was bad but good, you know? It was trashy YA, like 2012 YA, but it was enjoyable despite that. Here's the thing about tropes, and especially like the 2012 era YA fantasy tropes. All the books have like pretty much a formula, but it worked. And like even now it's like I can tell that it's kind of like recycled and like it's not the best YA, but it's very enjoyable. And I started this book. I still have a bookmark in it. I got to page 107. And there's a very specific reason I stopped reading this. I am a fan of a Larkling. If you don't know, that is the ship of the Darkling and Alina. I know, controversial, not really, but like, I like it. We're not having a conversation about that right now, but like, I like it. So I was Googling a Larkling fan art because I just wanted to see them, because I don't want, I guess I won't spoil, but like, it doesn't work out. I was Googling a Larkling fan art. So I wasn't Googling for context spoilers of anything in the series. I just wanted a Larkling fan art. And I'm just going through Google and this meme pops up and it's just text, and I'm a human. I start reading it. And it spoils something that happens in this book. And I am a person who doesn't really care about spoilers very often. I also have been spoiled for a lot of just like this kind of era YA and a lot of YA stuff, like Six of Crows I've been spoiled for. I've been spoiled for a lot of that YA stuff because I used to watch a lot of just like reviews on BookTube, even though like it would be like spoiler warning. I'm like, you can't tell me what to do, so I'd watch them anyway. So the selection spoils itself. Like if you're gonna title your third book The One and she's in a wedding dress, you want me to not assume that she gets married at the end? Okay, but I cannot stand Topic. Oh my god. But yeah, I got spoiled for something that I was like about to find out in this book and that I hadn't been spoiled for before, and it made me very upset. So I stopped reading this because I was so mad. And it wasn't even the book's fault, it was literally Google's fault, and I still can't get over it. Like, I want to finish this trilogy, mostly because I own it, but yeah, I just, it upset me so greatly that I put this book down and have not tried to read it since. Sprint, a book you read really quickly. There are a few for this, but I will go for the one that I'm more proud of. I read A Court of Mist and Fury in less than 24 hours. How did I do that? I have no idea. This is back in the days when I was binging series. Like, I binge read ACOTAR and then binge read Throne of Glass in a row. Don't know how I did that. Could never do that now. I don't know her. But yeah, I read this in less than 24 hours and was literally delirious in like the middle of the night, like laughing while I was reading the book. I wasn't like laughing at it, but I was laughing because when you're delirious, the only reaction you really have to things is to laugh, you know? If you've been in that state of mind at like 2 a.m. when you haven't slept for a long time, laughing is the only reaction. So yeah, I read this whole book and literally loved it. This, I think, was my self-proclaimed favorite book for a very long time. Probably is still in my top 5 because I am garbage. My favorite book is not this anymore, but this is probably like 2 or 3 because I'm still trash. But yeah, this book is like 600 something pages and I read this whole thing. I do intend to reread these at some point before the next book comes out, which that's a whole other thing. Don't get me started on the fact that this series won't die. What's next? Marathon, your favorite long book. Well, I suppose it's Akamath, but I would also say Winter, which is the 4th book in the Lunar Chronicles. I'm gonna pick up, this is the 4th book in the Lunar Chronicles, which is my favorite series. Loved this, love this series, so I suppose these are my 2 favorite long books. I'm not good at picking favorites, actually. I'm good at picking my least favorites. Like, I can tell you shit that I hate, but then telling you things I like is a lot harder. Maybe that's something I should evaluate, but not today. I'm a pessimist and I just accepted it. Hurdles, what's a book that had ups and downs? See, this is my thing with the Reading Rush. A lot of their prompts or questions and shit don't make sense. Every book has ups and downs. That's what makes it a story, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a story without like a climax and like an inciting incident, you know, and like a receding action. Is that what it's called? Falling action. So it's like, every book has ups and downs. What do you mean? It's like ups and downs with my feelings toward it? Because also every book basically has that, but I'll try. Like, are you talking about the plot or are you talking about my feelings? Somebody clarify, somebody proofread these prompts because I'm not a fan. Although my opinion is very irrelevant, so I take my opinion with a grain of salt, I suppose. When I say this has ups and downs, I say that I loved the ghost stuff and the murder content because I am a true crime fan, but I did find a lot of the characters and one specific relationship very, very, very bland and underdeveloped, and I did not like when we sidetracked from the murder plot line, like paranormal murder shit, to go to this random guy named Jerome who has no personality, who you apparently like for no reason. You know, like, I wasn't a fan of that. Although I did read the sequel during the Reading Rush, and the sequel changed my mind about relationships. Not Jerome. Fuck Jerome. Jerome is boring. But different dude, although I'm still mad at the author, so I don't know. But, like, I really like the murder stuff and the ghost stuff, but I didn't like the trivial relationships between, like, the friendships and, like, the boyfriend, who, like, were really irrelevant and they were underdeveloped and, like, I wasn't convinced, so I don't know. I'm gonna go with that. Because if you're asking about plot, like, every book's plot has ups and downs. That's what makes it a plot. Finish line, a book you were proud to finish. By the way, my bookshelves are a mess because I don't have enough bookshelf space, so there's always just, like, stacks of things going on. Yeah. So, like, don't judge my bookshelf organization because it's bad. Anyway, Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. This book is like 800 pages and I was really proud that I finished it. I don't like it. I did do a full-on like deep dive review of it, which part of the reason that video is super long is because like I need to go back and watch that when the sequel comes out because there's no fucking way I'm rereading this. I was really proud I finished this because it was such a long book. And then the confidence I got from reading a adult book or adult fantasy, you know what? It made me buy more. I haven't read those because I'm stressed. So we'll see what happens there. But I was proud to finish this. Okay, gold medal. Best book you've read during a readathon. It's Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. Read this during this reading rush. It's a 5 out of 5 stars. Would give it more. Literally amazing. I have no critiques. I love it a lot. Charlie is so adorable. Nick is so relatable. I love this so much. Nothing wrong with it in my opinion. It's also kind of really sad. It's heartbreaking but adorable, and yeah. Participation ribbon, an underrated book you wish got more attention. I'm gonna go with The Best Lies by Sarah Liu, my literal favorite book ever. This is a YA dark contemporary, I suppose, about a girl whose boyfriend was murdered by her best friend, and it's told in dual timelines. We're getting like when she first met the best friend, and we're also getting the events right after the murder. There's a lot of talk about toxic relationships with both like friends and parents, which I really enjoyed reading because like I have a fucked up relationship with my family and my parents, and I like reading about other people with fucked up families. The slow descent into toxicity that you watch their friendship do, it's just great. It's great. I really like it. This is a debut. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews, which I understand, but like I love it. So yay. And there you go. That's the book tag. I've finally completed it. Go me. I should start reading Throne of Glass because that is like the next book on my TBR technically. And I would like to maybe reach page 200 today because I'm on page 98 and I've been on page 98 for 3 months. So go me. If I can reach page 200, that'd be great. Highly doubt that'll happen. So if I can reach page 100, I will be very satisfied. So yeah. Completed 4 books, 3 left to go. 3 will not happen, but like maybe 2 pages of one. So yeah, that's been this segment of the vlog that I've been filming for 30 minutes. I definitely am great at this. Right after I filmed that tag or whatever, I fell asleep for hours. So my plan to fix my sleep schedule didn't work. So yeah, my eye makeup spread. So my makeup doesn't look great right now, but I do need to talk about something quickly. The reading rush has shown their asses again. And basically, so I'm not trying to sound self-important. I'm not an influencer. My following is too small to really matter. But I just want to tell you, because of my own morals and how I feel about the situation, I'm not doing the reading rush again. I've done the stay home one, I've done the 2020 main one. I'm not going to do it again. Because the reading rush constantly gets into situations where they are out of touch and don't realize the ignorance of what they're doing. I'm just gonna bring up stuff from like this year, but posting their announcement on Juneteenth. That is being out of touch and ignorant of the Black community and things going on in the world. And my thing is, if you do that kind of thing once and then you apologize and realize what you did wrong and then you don't have that same issue again, I think you've grown, and I don't think that's that big of a problem because you apologize and grow from it. You know what I mean? But when you do something very similar again, i.e. have the community vote for a group book, pick a Black book, and then you laugh on a live stream about not reading it, is kind of shitty. And it's like, did you not realize that that just really doesn't look good? The performative activism like jumped out, you know what I mean? They're gonna keep promoting this book. Let's read books by Black authors and shit, but then not do it. I find it really, one, a little sus to host a readathon and then not read your group book, especially if you've been ultra promoting it. Like, that's just very strange. But it's like, if you're gonna host a live show at the end, you have to read your group book. There's no point in a live show if neither of you even read it. It's ridiculous to me that they even bothered with that. Why not just like say on Twitter, didn't get around to reading it, sorry, we're not doing a live show. It would still be bad, but at least you wouldn't have this like live show where you show your asses. And I don't know exactly what the book is about, but it's kind of ironic. I have not read the book, but I've seen people talking about how it's ironic because that book is about like people using Black people for like performative activism. I'm not exactly sure, but that's what I've seen tweeted. But I'm just like, how do you get into these situations so often? I've definitely not been complimentary to the reading rush this whole time. Like, I've been shitting on the prompts and stuff. Like, I've never been that big a fan, and even going into this one, I was like, they're messy. They can't stay out of trouble. But, like, at some point, it's like, okay, this needs to stop. It was funny, entertaining at one point, but now it's like, okay, you need to grow. Clearly every apology or non-apology, because they just like to ignore situations, has not made you grow, because they clearly weren't genuine, because you keep getting into the same dramas, same problems. So I don't want to support that anymore. I know my support doesn't mean much, but I just wanted to tell you that I won't be. Also, I have only been looking on their Instagram for the challenges, so I didn't really look at the winners of every day. There was the cosplay challenge, right? And as a person of color, cosplay is something that has been deeply upsetting to me in the past, because it's really hard, in my experience, for people of color to cosplay, because there's an abundance of white characters to cosplay, and there's not a lot of characters with your own skin tone to cosplay. Especially being this weird mixed tone of whatever this is, you can never really find characters to cosplay, whatever. And then when they posted their winners for the cosplay challenge, they posted a picture of a white girl cosplaying an Indian character, I do believe, or a brown character at least. And that's just ridiculous to me, that you would pick a white person cosplaying a POC rather than pick a POC cosplaying something as a winner. It's again, showing your asses. So yeah, I'm done supporting the reading rush. I never really advocated that much for it, but like, I'm gonna be honest, there are so many, and I mean so many readathons in this community, and a lot of them are focused on marginalized communities. There's a bunch of marginalized readathons that are actually hosted by marginalized authors, where they actually are passionate about what they're promoting, and they're actually passionate about uplifting those marginalized voices. And I think that we as a community should be uplifting those readathons and making it more normal for a whole community to rally behind those events than this one that continues to hurt people, and I'm not gonna lie, seems more so invested in the money. They keep promoting Book Depository, I do believe, buying these books and buying their merch, and it's like, that's totally fine, get your bag, but it seems to me like they don't really care about being in the community and more what they can get from the community at this point. So yeah, I'm done with the reading rush. I will be posting this vlog, obviously, because I'm telling you in this vlog, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I had fun doing this. I like doing daily vlogs, and the reason I liked this reading rush experience is not the reading rush though. Hated the prompts, hated a lot of shit going on with the reading rush, but I like the community aspect, and I think we, as a community, I keep saying the word community, I hate it, we can find another readathon to do daily vlogs for, because the only thing that I find cool about the reading rush is that everyone collectively decides we're gonna do daily vlogs. That's my statement on the reading rush. I don't really need a statement. Again, I'm not trying to be self-important. I'm just trying to tell you my perspective on the situation, and also tell you what's going on if you haven't seen that. It's all on Twitter. Go on Twitter if you want to know all the tea. But yeah, I haven't read anything, so this whole update was just to tell you that I'm done with the reading rush, and that they have been messy one too many times, and messy in the worst ways. Being a mess is fine, but if you're gonna be the biggest readathon in the book community, you can't really be a mess that's also harming people. So yeah, that's that on that. I'm gonna try and read today, but I'm not sure if that's gonna happen, but at least I have the book tag, so there's actually some content in this vlog. But yeah. Hello, this is the end of the reading rush. I'm going to be wrapping up everything I read, but before I do that, I will say, read none of this, so like, don't expect any Throne of Glass updates here, and I did start a new book. I started Such a Fun Age by whoever the author is. Oops, I didn't pay attention to the author's name, but I'll put a photo here. If you don't know, this is the book that was the group book for the reading rush. I was never gonna read it for the reading rush, like I don't really do group books. I just got a text. But I needed an audiobook to listen to because I was going to walk my dogs. I'm like, why not? So I started it. I'm about an hour and a bit into it, and I'm liking it, actually. I really like it. Basically, there's this girl, her name's Amira, and she's babysitting for this woman named Alix. I don't really know how to pronounce her name, but she's babysitting for a white woman. So Amira is black, and then the lady she's babysitting for is white. And one day she needs to, like, so the white lady, I don't know how to pronounce her name, she needs Amira to, like, babysit her daughter on, like, really late notice one night. So Amira's in the grocery store with the little girl, and she gets accosted by a security guard, and because of her race, and, like, people think she's kidnapping this child because they're not the same race and she's black. And that's all I've read so far, and I think that's, like, the inciting incident of the book. And I'm pretty sure I've heard people say that this book is about white people using black, well, in this case black women, but, like, black people for performative activism and to look, like, not racist. So I'm excited to read this, and I'm actually really liking it so far. So that's that. I ended up reading 4 books for the reading rush. I read The Madness Underneath by Maureen Johnson. I gave this like 3.5 stars. This is the second book in the Name of the Star, or I guess the Shades of London series. I actually really liked this, and it kind of mentally destroyed me. I read All Out edited by Sandra Mitchell, and I gave this 2 stars. These are LGBTQ stories from the past. Didn't really enjoy that. I finished The Disturbed Girls Dictionary by Nonika Ramos, and I hated this and gave it 1 to 5 stars. And I read Heartstopper, Volume 1, and gave it 5 to 5 stars, and love it so much. So yeah, I'm actually pretty satisfied with my, like, reading for this week, because this is pretty damn good for me. And I would consider this a success. My goal was to read 3 books. I ended up reading 4. And I'm satisfied. I will not be doing the reading rush again, but I am satisfied with how I did this time. And yeah, I hope your reading this week has been good. I hope you have a good day, night, or whatever time you're watching this. I've been Bailey. This has been the Reading Rush. Bye-bye.